Alright, it's time to get ready for a blast to the past here. This used to be a historic deck, Indomitable Velomachus. But since Time Warp got banned, this deck was absolutely clipped and was not playable for the longest time. But now we have Timeless format, and Time Warp is legal again. For 5 mana, target player takes an extra turn after this one, and this deck is reborn with a lot of cooler, more powerful cards. So let's see what this deck can do. The whole idea here is we want to get Indomitable Creativity onto the stack by exiling one of our tokens from Prismari Command or Creative Outburst. And with those two things, we're going to use them to find a Velomachus Lorehold out of our deck. This is a 7-mana creature, but it is a 5/5 Flying Vigilance Haster. That when it attacks, you get to look at the top 7 of your library, and you get to cast one of them for free, basically. And it just has to be less than the power. So Time Warp is right at the top of that list. For 5 power on our Velomachus Lorehold, we get our 5-mana Time Warp. And the idea is we're going to go in with Velomachus for 5 in the air, Time Warp our opponents, get another turn, go for Velomachus again, that's 10 damage, and then if we can just hit 2 more times after that, that's GG. Otherwise, we'll be able to maybe draw lightning bolts, soften our opponent up, or just generally kind of control the game here. Maybe Prismari Command can push us over the edge here and there. But for the most part, we just want to get a Velomachus onto the battlefield and just go ham, and hopefully our opponent can't deal with it. I guess there's not really much to say other than that. We're holding counter spells, Get Lost in Swords to Plowshares as a removal, Brainstorm is a way to go find stuff, and technically we have an extra turn spell and piece it together, although often this is just going to be a card that cycles for 1. Okay, so that's the deck here. We are basically just Jeskai. We're running 1 fully on color fetch, and then a couple of ones that can do one of our colors. And we're going to hopefully be able to find our Rogran Triomes early, get our Shocklands into play, and just get in there. And then if the game decides to go long, or we whiff on our initial Velomachus trigger, then we'll just have to kind of get closer to a 7-mana casting cost so that we can cast it for free. Or so that we can cast it for its mana cost, not for free. And I guess one thing that is worth it to note is that even if our Velomachus Lorehold whiffs on Time Warp, it's still just a 5/5 body that we can have as early as turn 3. So, good to know. Actually, sorry. Yeah, no, it's as early as turn 3 if we have Creative Outburst, discard on 2, and then shock in our 3rd red source. Alright, so this is the deck. Should be a pretty fun time here. Hopefully we'll get some combos in. Before we hop into the games, like the video and comment if you want to help support the channel, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are exploring the Timeless format and doing a bit of Historic as well, so stay tuned for all that stuff. Let's hop into round 1, see what we can do. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is our round 1. We get to start off with our Indomitable Creativity. Our 2 Flooded Strands can help find what we need, and hopefully Swords to Plowshares plus Brainstorm will be more or less helpful. Unfortunately, the Time Warp in hand is a little weird, but what we should be able to do is on turn 3 or 4, start an Indomitable Creativity, and then this Time Warp will just be our backup. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I'll try keeping the 7 regardless. Do not love to see that mono red start. I think that I'm going to just start with this Flooded Strand. We're going to find our Triome, and then we can Swords the Swift Spear early. Okay. Yeah, that does represent a decent amount of damage. Let's go ahead and just wait until they either commit their last mana or get attacking in. Swift Spear, let's see what they get. Unholy Heat. Those aren't too bad. Alright, let's go ahead and take another damage here. Down to 14 already on turn 2. That's pretty brutal. Here's the Rogran Triome. Move to our turn here. And we actually draw 2nd Time Warp. That is not ideal. Let's go ahead and pass. We will probably grab a Shockland here. We do need to make sure that we have our triple red for creativity, even though the game may not necessarily go that long. Prismari Command is about to be really good if we draw this other... this 3rd source of mana, which possibly we might want to shock in our strands to get the Brainstorm off for. These Kumanos are going to trigger at some point, which is not ideal. Let's see if they go on Holy Heat early. No, it's just light up the stage. Lots of card advantage here. I think at combat we're going to exile the Swift Spear. Now it's just spell-based stuff. This is actually kind of decent. We're at 13, about to go to a lot less than 13, to be honest. I think for that reason, and because these creatures are about to come in, well, these will be 2/2, so I can hit them with Prismari Command. Maybe I do just Brainstorm right now and hit early. So here's what I can do. I'm going to get a Steam Vents. We're going to shock the Steam Vents, Brainstorm. I'm going to pray that I find a fetch land here, which will allow me to put the 2 Time Warps on top, draw one of them, and then shuffle the other. We did not find it. Okay, well, we'll just put the 2 Time Warps on top anyway, because they're the least castable cards out of all of these. And looks like it'll just be Prismari Command on top. We'll be able to take out 1 Kumano and make it token. And then we'll need to wait one more turn to Prismari Command again to take the other Kumano out. And then we should have everything that we need for Indomitable Creativity. We might be able to just Time Warp from hand here. We will see about that. It may be a pass the turn kind of situation. Okay. So we will definitely go ahead and deal damage, create token, target. And are they going to pass through? They're going to static discharge us here. We go to 7. Then we will be going to... Oh, actually, this doesn't target players. Nice. Hollowed Fountain still doesn't quite work. Unfortunate. We'll put this in tapped then and use our Prismari Command next turn at combat. Okay, if we can survive this turn, it might be good. So we'll go Prismari Command here, 2 damage and Treasure. Target. Alright, and then if it really comes down to it, we do have Swords to Plowshares, but I think we should be okay. Put us to 3. Do we survive here? Alright, looks like we're getting a turn here, so this is going to be Indomitable Creativity for x equals 1, targeting this. Now we gotta hope this resolves and they're not just holding a Bolt. Alright, this is Velomachus Lorehold. We can always exile it if we really need to. Let's hope we hit something good here, though. Top 7 cards. Let's hit a Time Warp. Prismari Command. Okay. Well, this does give us the treasure that we want. So we'll draw 2, discard 2, make a token that'll allow us to cast Time Warp next turn. We'll keep 1 Swords, get rid of the Piece It Together and Swords to Plowshares. Right, if we can basically just survive a turn, which is definitely not necessarily a guarantee, we should be able to win. Enter stopped, say go. Let's see what happens. Do they draw well? So that is Skewer the Critics. We're going to have to exile our Velomachus. Go to 8, and we will survive. DRC. And we have a Wooded Foothills here. We're going to have to just go ahead and Time Warp ourselves. Let's Wooded Foothills here and hope for something good. Let's get something that produces red, and honestly red-blue would be ideal. Put that in tapped. Move to our turn here. This is a Brainstorm. Okay, this is actually not terrible. So we can put Time Warp. Actually, we need to cast Time Warp this turn, don't we? So what if we put a Bolt on top? So, okay, they have 1 card, potentially 2 cards. If I Bolt the DRC, we should be good on not dying. So if I just Bolt plus Time Warp, I feel pretty solid about that. So maybe I put Piece It Together and other Bolt on top. We'll draw the Piece It Together for our next turn. Okay, then we'll just go ahead and Time Warp again. Or should we Time Warp again? I don't know if Time Warp again is even really worth it. We can clear our Brainstorm if we do so. but that's just kind of brutal. I think we'll just kill the DRC and then try to draw through our Brainstorm. Let's hope we don't die on this turn. Ooh, single static discharge would do it. Unfortunate. Got stuck there. Opponent just had us close enough to the wire that we couldn't combo with our Velomachus. But I think if we had one more turn there, we might have had it. Alright, that's round 1 in the bag. Let's hop into round 2. Alright, here we go. This is our round 2. We start a hand with a Velomachus Lorehold, actually. And our Prismari commands can help us control the board and get some treasures. Now, the only thing that we're missing is our Indomitable Creativity. But maybe we can just kind of hold on here with this... This is at hand, plus Velomachus. Get Lost is also kind of nice here. So we can start to represent both of these 2-mana spells, which is sweet. Against Teamer, let's see what they're doing. They pass through their turn. Okay. We draw another Velomachus, which is... yeah, it's something that could happen. We'll pay 2 life here just to be able to hold this up. Seeming like this is not super aggro, it may be kind of controlling. We'll probably need Counterspell and Get Lost for Okos and Uros if this ends up being that kind of deck. Let's see if Oko or Uro comes down. That is Uro, sure. Alright, so we have 4-color control here. We may need to also deal with Omnath. Cool, so we can actually just hold up Prismari command without hurting ourselves here. I can probably bin one of the Velomachuses. There's Oko. I think Oko's a good counterspell. Restless Vinestock. Could Spell Pierce me. That is exactly Spell Pierce. Okay, so we're going to get Lost next turn. Oko's going to plus make a token. Move to our turn here. Let's go ahead and just crack off Get Lost here. Get that Oko out of the way. We'll put in a tap Steam Vents, and then this will be Piece It Together. We'll cycle. Find another land here. We are kind of getting close to a hardcast Velomachus. It's good that we have 2 of those in hand now. Maybe that's what we'll work towards here. We do know that we're going to have to watch out for the counter spells in this deck as well. I know they'll have it. If not in hand already. This is Cut Down being exiled. Looks like that's not going to be casted, so that is a little bit of card advantage wasted there. Feels nice. And we have Flooded Strand here. I'll use this to find our 3rd red source, or at least I'll just get the Triome with it. I'll pass. Now, Prismari command is going to have a nice extra usage here, in that when they cast Oko and try to animate some of these treasures and foods, we can destroy them in response. Deathrite Shaman, interesting. I think I kind of want to kill the Deathrite. That's going to start eating my graveyard for too much profit. So let's deal 2 damage, and should we make a treasure? Yeah, we should make a treasure, because then we can cast Velomachus next turn and potentially win. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. This will be activation finding our Rogrin Triome. There it is. And let's see what happens here. This is Sacred Foundry Shocked. Velomachus cast into our opponent's 0 open mana. Let's hope this can find something. Velomachus triggers, we find Time Warp. Alright. 5 damage. They are pretty healthy. We're going to go ahead and fetch pre-combat here. Let's just find anything. This can go in tapped. Swing in with the Lorehold. That is Time Warp again. Sweet. We will go ahead and... I guess we could also Prismari command. I'm going to wait until we miss with Velomachus, though. We can put 3 to the face, though, soften them up a bit. We're hoping to end the game this cycle. Swing in. We missed this time. We have Indomitable Creativity, which can not really find anything interesting. So I think that Swords or Lightning Bolt is the move. Lightning Bolt brings us exactly to a 1-turn game. 5, we can put them to 1 essentially here. So I'm going to go 2 to any target and draw discard. 2 to any target, draw 2, discard 2. Close. We can get further with the Prismari command in terms of damage. And then draw 2, discard 2, target, target. And we just need 1 more right here. Unfortunately, didn't find it. We're going to have to discard our Brainstorm, and we may as well just go ahead and pass on this. Alright, so 1 damage through whatever means possible is going to do it for us. They may cast Uro here, but even if they cast Uro, they are dead to Lore Hold, so they need to find both removal for Lore Hold, and they'll need to try to hold up a counterspell for hopefully what this Brainstorm will find. That's Doomblade here. That means Velomachus will be dead. Looks like it's unlikely that they're holding up a counterspell. It could be Memory Lapse, but in that case, we'll just draw what we need to draw. They will gain life and go to 4, which is actually pretty solid. We'll Brainstorm now, I guess, since it doesn't super matter. Unfortunately, not super great, so what we're going to have to do is draw Flooded Strand for turn, and then shuffle away the Exile effect. Alright, we will shuffle here, hopefully thin that deck out a little bit, and here's Piece It Together. Piece It Together for Velomachus. We should have shocked here, that's unfortunate. So potential misplay there for the win. Let's see if we can not be punished here by waiting a turn. So they're looking clearly for Uro here. Velomachus then can still find a kill if it's in fact Uro happening. We have 2 Lightning Bolts in the grave, so that means 2 are left in the last 30. We should be able to exile Uro if it really comes down to it. We'd really like to find something that, what's the card? Get Lost for it. Alright. Oh wow, we found exactly Get Lost. So, it's going to have to just be a hard cast Velomachus. We're getting in there. And can we find Lightning Bolt? Yes, we can. That's Lightning Bolt to face for the final couple of damage. Okay, we powered through after trying basically in 2 parts to kill our opponent, but we got there anyway. Go to round 2. Let's hop into round 3. Alright, round 3, let's go. We have the creativity, we have things that can find red mana and red-white mana to cast our Swords and Lightning Bolt. I'm feeling good. We play against Yorion, which will be an interesting deck to play against here. Jetmir's Garden, not the color pairings that I was expecting to see here. We'll just go ahead and show them that we're at least Boros, or we'll just show them the Rogran Tryon, whatever. They've shown us their Jetmir's Garden, we'll show them what we're up to as well. Castle Vantress coming down, so definitely they are on the control plan. I think we'll get Basic Mountain here. I think we get Basic Mountain here, Creative Outburst early. And then it'll take us about a turn or 2 to get ready. We need to try to set up to dodge their counter magic, if any does exist in this hand. So this is actually 4 color, 5 color, something something. Here is Oko. Oko is going to be annoying. Oko is going to make a food token. Let's activate this ability here. And what do I think about this? So definitely it's going to be a problem. Oh, I see that did not fetch Basic Mountain, so we got a shock. We'll shock here, discard for a Creative Outburst. We'll resolve that. They make their token here. We get to move to our turn. We're ultimately not worried about Oko's production until we have to pass the turn. Then that's going to be a problem for us. I'll move to my turn. There's our Velomachus Lorehold. Or one of them at least. And our mountain is in hand. We still need to wait a turn here. We'll pass. We can swords their elked item. And at this point we just need to kill Oko with a get lost. We can't really do it through damage.
Your new look is enchanting.
Should I exile this? I can bolt it. But then maybe I want to keep my bolt for when I Velomachus Lorehold. Let's swords now, see if they want to give us a counter spell out of hand. Okay. Are they going to flash anything in here? I'd like to see an Uro go down. I'm not sure I can afford to play into a counter spell here, so we need to wait for them to cast something. Okay, and it's just a Teferi. Sweet. Please do not bounce my token. They're going to bounce my token. That sucks. Let's go ahead and make red here, and we will shock Teferi. Except I can't do that because Teferi sucks. Okay, so Prismari Command can go ahead and make that token back for us. And then can also kill Teferi consequently, so that's good. Let's go ahead and do this. 2 damage to any target, make a token, Teferi us. And we'll wait on fetching on that Flooded Strand. Pass. Okay, so Planeswalkers and Value Creatures is going to be the name of the game here. So we just have to find our slot for Indomitable Creativity. They can have Uro, they can have another Planeswalker. Let's see what the move is. That is Omnath, okay. Cannot kill Omnath, but we can exile him. Alright. And they have played their land for the turn. And we're going to go ahead and Flooded Strand here. We're going to go get a red-white source. And I think I'm going to not kill Omnath yet. Or should I? I need all my mana here. So it's not like I can hold this up after going for Lorehold. And then if I were to kill Omnath and exile him, they'd go to 25. So it's still 5 turns that I have to hit. It's just that it gets a little iffy if I'm trying to use Lightning Bolt to kill. We'll shock here. And swords their Omnath. Okay, that also allowed us to check for priority, and it didn't seem that they had anything, so we're going to go ahead and go for Indomitable Creativity. X equals 1, targeting our treasure. Here we go. So that is a Velomachus Lorehold. We are going, I think, probably right for face here. Let's see if we can hit well. We actually just hit Get Lost, which takes out Oko, which is nice. And here's a Hallowed Fountain tapped for turn. Let's see if they have removal. If they don't, we get to go again. Otherwise, we just have to build up to our hardcast Lorehold. Looks like that thing's probably going to die. I wouldn't expect this to survive a turn. There's so many removal pieces in the format that could take out this Lorehold. They don't even want this Oko. Or wait. Yeah, oh wait, no, I killed that one. Okay. If they had discarded that Oko, that would have been worrying. This is instead Teferi to bounce my Lorehold. Got it. Okay, well, we can kill Teferi at least. There is Indomitable Creativity. There goes Teferi. And we hold until we can make a treasure. This could also be used defensively, we will see. Ooh, Field of the Dead, that becomes a problem for us. Oh, this is actually a Scapeshift deck. Okay. We can draw a removal here, but that's not seeming too likely. Alright, so how much do we find here? That is 6 damage. Okay, so we don't survive this, unfortunately, but we do have the creative outburst here, and we were actually just 1 mana away. That's so unfortunate. Well, let's just show them that we did, in fact, have the creativity here. We cannot even target this, so it's fine. Yeah, they knew that we have that, and we are dead. So that was round 3 in the bag here. We folded to Escape Shift, which actually just seemed to be like a pretty fair deck to begin with. Looks like with Yorion, you can just really put every powerful card into a deck, so that was pretty cool. Round 4 is coming up next. Thanks for sticking with me. Let's hop into it. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Round 4 is coming up. Double Time Warp means I probably want to get rid of this. A 1-lander means I'm not really too happy about it either. However, this does cast Brainstorm and Lightning Bolt, so I think we can work with it. We'll keep 6, bottoming our Time Warp. Good to have that on the bottom, and eventually we will want to make sure that gets shuffled away. I'm going to shock here, trying to Brainstorm, hopefully finding a fetch land out of the top of our library. Or just a land in general we would take. We do find the fetch land, so is there anything we want to get rid of here? Opponent shows us Steam Vents. I don't know how we feel about that. The basic lands can go, since we have more Brainstorms to come. Maybe the Bolt for now. We'll use Swords to Plowshares as our kill spell. I guess we'll draw this land. We just get to shuffle one thing away. Let's go ahead and Flooded Strand. And what do we want to find here? I think we'll just do 1 Brainstorm at a time here. We'll say go. Is it? Here's another Brainstorm. Will they let me have this one is the question. They will. Nice. These don't make red mana. I think I'm fine to just put some of these on top again. We can redraw and clear those with our Prismari command. I think at this point I don't need another Brainstorm. I want to avoid locking myself here. We need to find a 3rd red source and then work around their counter magic. So I think that will go like this, and it really doesn't matter because we're going to redraw these anyway. Here is the shock here for, oh, you know, I guess I could have played that Plains, whatever. We will go ahead and pass. I think I'm probably just going to discard the Plains anyhow, so this is okay. Still need 1 more red mana. We can make it work with the 2nd treasure from Prismari Command, but I'd really just like to use that in order to do something else. So here's Prismari Command. We're going to draw 2, discard 2, and make a token. Does that resolve? Looks like they are going to snap off a counter spell. Is it Ionize, maybe? Oh, it is going to be a Prismari Command of their own. So perhaps this is a mirror match. So let's see, we'll get rid of 1. And now that we have a fetch land, we could actually rationalize doing a Brainstorm. However, next turn is just our combo turn, so whatever. I think I want to hold Swords to Plowshares for whatever they end up doing. So I think I do get rid of Brainstorm. Alright, we move to our turn here. They have shields down, or one would assume shields down. This could be for Spell Pierce. I think it is worth going for it here. We'll go ahead and shock in, getting some more blue mana here, just because I think that if they have Spell Pierce, oh well. So this is Indomitable Creativity for X equals 1, targeting this. Let's go. That resolves straight away. We find our Velomachus, and let's get in there. We hit Time Warp. We're getting in. So that is guaranteeing 10 damage. Let's see if we can hit it again. Finding that was huge. And that is enough to make them concede here. We don't know yet if we would have hit here. And we would have put them to 10. Then with a mana from this turn, that's going to be Lightning Bolt plus Prismari Command, which is another 5 damage. So we would have had them at 5. With 2 more scene cards because of Prismari Command. And hopefully that would have been enough to get us over the finish line. Now, you're never really sure. But looks like we made it happen. Round 4 in the bag. Let's hop into our final round 5 here. I'll see you there. All right, 5th and final round here. Let's go. Wow. How greedy am I is the question. I don't think I'm this greedy. Like, if we drew just our red lands, getting our piece it togethers in off of this Rogren and we actually did find lands, like, this is a long shot hand. It could work, but I'd like to actually play the game of Magic. This is a lot less sexy of a hand, but it does do what we want it to do. So we're going to time warp onto the bottom here. And then I kind of want to sandbag this Brainstorm to try to make use of my fetch land. But at the same time, it would be nice to be able to see some cards. I think what I'll do is I'll play out the Sacred Foundry. If I don't end up drawing into a land, then I'll have to use Brainstorm to hit my 3rd land drop. Oh, Ruin Crab. Okay, so I want to kill that. I could sit a Flooded Strand onto the table. Let's do that. We're going to kill this Ruin Crab. Let's not let the mill start early. Going to be hard to get double blue for Counterspell now. That's unfortunate. Another Ruin Crab. We can get lost at next turn and still maintain our tapped Flooded Strand. Well, that's brutal. Okay, we'll mill. Just some lands out of the way. Notably, a lot of them weren't red producing. So this will be get lost, kill that thing. Can they spell pierce me here? Let's see. Looks like they are going to spell pierce me here. Darn. Well, it is good to just get this stuff out of the way early, though. Hollowed Fountain. So I wonder what other colors they're playing for here. Oh! Oh, that was just to get some mill value. Sweet. So what's the white for is my question. Oh. Oh. What the heck? Dovin's Acuity. I've not seen this card in a long, long time. So now with the usage of our two fetch lands, now I feel comfortable finding a Rogren Triome. Now I can get rid of things that my Brainstorm finds. We can hold up a counterspell here as well. Dovin's Acuity. Cast an instant spell during your main phase. Okay, that's like okay. These are just kind of like slow card advantage, and it's a big mana investment in order to use it. So here's Brainstorm. Let's see what we want to take / keep. I think that 2 more counterspells is not the ideal situation here, and I think we will fetch away. Boom, boom. Here's the fetch. We will find a 2nd blue mana and also some red, probably. Okay, they're going to also fetch. That's fine. Keeps their life total not too high above 20, which is great for us. We want to keep them right at 20 if possible. This will resolve. Let's find... Do I want Steam Vents? I think I want Steam Vents. Enters tapped. And move to our turn. Another Indomitable Creativity. Unfortunately not going to do much for us here. We have to pass. Holding up Counterspell does feel nice here. I almost kind of wish I had that other one at this point. And so now I think I do need to find something. This is whatever. I do need to find a permanent that I can use for Indomitable Creativity. So I think I'm good on cracking my Wooded Foothills here in the end step. 23. Alright, we're still on, or we're now up to 5 attacks in order to win. Do they just give me my turn here? It looks like they're about to. Wooded Foothills, sure. This one's going to be hard to combo. We're going to have to get lucky. We'll find the Sacred Foundry this time. Let that enter tapped. Move to our turn. What do we get? This is a piece it together. We're going to just rip that off right away. Time Warp. Okay. That will be good after the first time warp that we hit. There's Uro. Another time warp. I don't feel comfortable with actually playing any of these out, so I'm going to pass. Growth Spiral, sure. Yep. Dovin's a cutie again. I mean, they're getting a lot of life back off of these, but I'd rather them not have an Uro. Opt is fine. They're going to get those Dovin's Acuities back. It is helping them hit these land drops off of Uro, I will say that. Quite an interesting engine here. Swords to Plowshares does answer an Uro now. Once again, we're just kind of sitting until we can find a permanent to play with. Dovin's Acuity, sure. We're just getting ready to counter an Uro. They do have the cards in graveyard to cast him. Fairy Time Raveler, I think we're going to not allow that to happen if we can help it. Let's see if this is time lapse in response. Nope. Yeah, the swords will probably be a response to Uro at this stage. Good to know they play to Fairy. Probably there's also swords to Plowshares in this deck. Let's see if they hold up mana here. I'm hoping that this can be a turn that we draw what we need to go for it. Brainstorm. Okay. Alright, so I think we put one Velomachus in hand. Creative Outburst will create our permanent. And then Time Warp is the thing that goes on top. We'll draw one of them the next turn, but hopefully then we'll just rip one off the top with our Velomachus. Okay. Nice. Sounds good. We will do everything on their turn, including probably putting them back under 30. Or at 30. Let's see if they cast 2 Dovin's Acuities. It's probably going to be that. So we have a hard little thing going on here where we're going to have to attack in 7, 8 times with Velomachus. That's going to be hard with just 4 time warps. Sometimes in these decks you might want to run Mizzix's Mastery, but I think that's a little too dead for my liking in the early games. Okay, so 35 life is 7 attacks. Let's get after it. Alright, that's our 1 time warp in hand here. It's going to be Indomitable Creativity. X equals 1, target that. Auto pay. Let's get in there. Alright, lore hold it is. Let's get in. Trigger. That is time warp. Target me. So now we can afford to whiff once because we have time warp in hand and enough mana to cast it. And turn. Move to our turn here. Let's get in there. We hit Piece It Together, so we can hit Piece It Together again. And then this will need to be time warp from hand. Target me. Velomachus again. That might end up being good. This is time warp. Nice. Alright. And wow, our opponent gives it to us. So some thoughts after having played this deck. I think I would like to come back and do a V2 of this. Definitely watch for it on the channel here in the near future. But if you want to try it for yourself before the video comes out, here are some of the things that I am thinking for it. Number 1, in situations like this where the opponent can life gain, which is not so much out of the question because of Uro, we probably would have started whiffing on the next iteration or so. And to get around that, I think what is actually pretty smart here is to continue playing the Piece It Together in time warps, but to also just run some Mizzix's Masteries along the side. Because that gives you 8 instances once you hit your first time warps. And, it's just an easier way to cast an early time warp as well if you need to. So that's probably the one change that I would make here, dropping, I don't really know, maybe like a Velomachus lore holder too, because you really don't need that many of them. and then maybe like 1 swords, 1 bolt, or something like that. Maybe one or 2 swords, actually. I'd like the bolts for extra damage. But basically, I think that getting those 4 Mizzix's Masteries into this deck so that the Time Warp and Piece It Togethers can actually be used is pretty solid. Because once you have 4 Piece It Togethers in the graveyard, then you can basically just start using those as Time Warps as well. And you can do them off of the Mizzix's Masteries. Whereas if you're just casting them in your deck like I am, you really don't actually get to use these. So maybe that's something to change in the next version of the deck. Do keep an eye out for that. I'll probably start working on that pretty soon. But we've reached the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to play this version of the deck, check for the deck list in the description. And if you want, you can make those changes that I've discussed as well. Thanks for watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. Comment what you would change. And if you're new here, subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.